What's going on, guys? I've got here a 2006 Nissan Altima, and I'm using this car to give you some troubleshooting steps for the operation of the front cooling fans. I'm also going to show you where you can find the fuses for these fans as well as the relays. Now, starting with some basic steps, first thing I do is I come over to the fan and I try to see if I can turn it by hand. If I'm unable to turn the fan blades by hand, well, then I already know that the fan is seized, or maybe something has fallen down inside of the shroud and I have to deal with that first. If the fan motor is seized, I have to replace it, obviously. And if there's something down in the shroud that's obstructing it, I have to get that out before I can proceed any further. One note of caution, sometimes when the fans are beginning to fail, they can get stuck. And if you start to rotate one, it can actually kick on. Fans can turn on at any moment. So, don't injure your hands is what I'm trying to say. Another troubleshooting step you can do is you can actually tap on the back of the fan motors. Sometimes the motors will be making a bad connection internally, and sometimes just tapping on the back can get the fans to start going. If that's the case, then you may want to go ahead and plan on replacing the fan assembly. Now, as far as fuses go, there's two fuses. We can find them underneath this cover here, which we remove by pushing in on this tab here and lifting up. They are both integrated into this fuse assembly, and it's the two 40 amp fuses towards the front. The one in the back is for the ignition switch. And we can look down through the top to see that these are not blown. This is what your fuse should look like. Now, when the fuses are working, they send constant power to two different wires located here. So the white blue wires here and here should both be receiving constant power when the fuse is intact. The other two wires on here receive a ground, and that ground comes in through the different relays that I'll show you here in a bit. Now, our other fan, this receives constant ground on the two black wires. So the black wire here and here, those should always be grounded. The other two wires receive a power from the relays, and the strength of that power determines how quickly the fan motor runs. Now let's take a look at the let's take a look at the relays. So our fan motor relays, there's three of them. They're behind this cover. We've got to come in here and there's a tab here that we've got to unhook. And again, there's one here on this other side. I'll give you a closer view. So you've got to pull this up and away, and also on the other side there. That is going to reveal, this is a combo fuse box computer. We've got to get this out further as well. I like to come down through the top and push the tab here while I lift up. It's just an effective way I found of removing the fuse box from this housing. Now we can get a better look at our fan relays. It's these three relays here. So those are all the fan relays. I like to swap relays around, and it can be helpful to swap the fan relays around with each other, but unfortunately there are no other relays of this form factor that we can swap with. So yeah, those are the three relays. I've shown you the two fuses. I hope that this info was helpful, or at the very least it was a good starting point in troubleshooting the cooling fans on your Nissan Altima. Definitely let me know down below if you have any questions or any advice.